After weeks of gathering evidence, filing reports, and staying vigilant, I thought the nightmare was finally under control. The recordings, the messages, the videos, everything was stacked in my favor. I believed the story had shifted. Alex was exposed. Maya was finally seeing the truth. I was ready to reclaim my life, but I was wrong. It started with a text late one night, unknown number, no name, just words. You think you know the whole story? You're in over your head. I froze. My hands were shaking as I read it again. The tone was calm, but cold, calculated. The next day, strange things began to happen. At first, little things. My mailbox rifled through, small scratches on the doorframe. My car, a different scratch this time, deeper, longer, almost like it was meant to send a message. I called Maya immediately. She was quiet at first, then whispered, "He's back. He's watching us again. I saw someone parked outside your office yesterday. Black SUV, same as before." Panic rose, but beneath it, I felt a strange clarity. I knew we couldn't back down. Not now, not after everything. By midweek, things escalated. Alex had started sending emails, not just to me, but to people I worked with, people Maya knew. Carefully edited screenshots designed to confuse and intimidate. He was spinning lies faster than the truth could catch up. One evening, I returned home to find the front door slightly ajar. My heart nearly stopped. I entered slowly, flashlight in hand, and everything seemed normal, except the small envelope on the kitchen table. Inside were three things. One, a photo of Maya leaving my lawyer's office. Two, a handwritten note. You don't belong here. Step back or face the consequences. Three, a USB stick labeled only with a date. I didn't touch it immediately. I just stared at it for a long time, realizing that Alex had moved from manipulation to active threats. The next morning, I met with my lawyer again. She looked grim. "This isn't just harassment anymore," she said. "It's escalating. He's crossing lines we can document, but we need to be careful. One wrong move, and it could look like retaliation from you." I nodded. I understood. Every step had to be strategic, every reaction calculated. Later that day, Maya called me in a panic. "He just showed up at my parents' house," she whispered. "They told me he was asking about you, about your lawyer, about the evidence." I felt my stomach drop. This wasn't about control anymore. This was about obsession, about someone who believed the world revolved around him, and anyone who crossed him deserved punishment. That night, I finally opened the USB stick. It contained folders, files, documents, photos. At first glance, I thought it was more of the same: personal messages, edited screenshots, attempts to intimidate. But then I found something else, a folder labeled Backup. Inside were messages Alex had sent to multiple women over the past 5 years. Threats, manipulations, confessions, patterns I hadn't even imagined. I realized something terrifying. He wasn't just a cheat. He was a predator. He didn't just want affairs. He wanted power, control, fear. And the worst part? Some of those messages implicated Maya, showing that she wasn't just a victim. She had, at times, been part of the story he wanted to keep secret. I didn't know whether to feel anger, betrayal, or relief that we now had proof that could protect us. The following day, Alex tried contacting me again. No name, blocked number, just one voicemail. "You think you can destroy me. You don't even know the half of it." I played it for my lawyer. She paused the audio, looked at me seriously, and said, "This man is dangerous, not just manipulative, dangerous. We need to escalate this to law enforcement fully, and we need to do it carefully." That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept imagining Alex waiting, lurking, planning. Every sound outside my house made me jump. Maya stayed with me, quiet, at finally letting the fear show in her eyes. But I also saw determination. For the first time in weeks, she wasn't the hysterical, defensive version of herself. She was ready to face the truth with me. And I realized something else. The fight wasn't just about exposing him. It was about surviving him. Because men like Alex don't stop when cornered. They escalate, they manipulate, they strike. And we were right in his line of sight. I sat in the dark, phone in hand, scrolling through the evidence. Every file, every message, every recording felt like a weapon, and we finally held enough to fight back. But one thing was clear: this wasn't just a battle for truth, it was a battle for safety. And I had a feeling the next move, whether his, mine, or Maya's, was going to change everything in ways I wasn't ready for. I woke up to the sound of my phone buzzing incessantly, notifications from unknown numbers, blocked calls, and one message that made my blood run cold: "Stop digging or there will be consequences." I didn't respond. I didn't want to give him the satisfaction. By mid-morning, things escalated in a way I hadn't anticipated. My lawyer called. Her voice was tense, controlled, but you could hear the edge beneath it. "He's hired someone," she said. "A private investigator. They're following you, Maya, even the lawyer's office." I felt my chest tighten. All the measures we'd taken, cameras, reports, protective orders, suddenly seemed fragile. Maya stayed close that day, her hand gripping mine tightly, eyes wide with fear. I could feel her tension radiating through the room. "He's not playing anymore," she whispered. "I know," I said, swallowing hard. "But we have everything now. Every threat, every message, every recording. We're not defenseless." That afternoon, a knock at the door. I froze. My heart pounded in my chest. I motioned for Maya to stay behind me. The officer outside showed his badge. "We received a report about suspicious activity in the neighborhood," he said. "We're increasing patrols around the area." Relief mixed with dread. He knew we were building a case, and now he was watching our every move. Later, Maya called me from her car. "You need to see this," she said. Her voice was shaky, urgent. When I arrived, she handed me a folder. Inside were photographs. Alex meeting with someone I didn't recognize, in broad daylight, confident, smiling, and clearly coordinating something. "What is this?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Maya swallowed. "I think he's planning to discredit us, or worse." I realized then the full magnitude of the situation. Alex was just desperate. He was dangerous, methodical, and determined to control the narrative at any cost. That night, I reviewed every piece of evidence again. The video of the car accident, the messages, the voice notes. Patterns emerged I hadn't noticed before. Times, dates, places. He was predictable, but only if you looked carefully. I called my lawyer. "We need to take this further. We need law enforcement to see the full scope, not just fragments." She agreed. "It's time. We'll present everything. The threats, the recordings, the manipulations. We go public legally. No half measures." Then, just as we were preparing, Maya whispered something that stopped me cold. "There's something else. Something I found on his phone." She handed me her tablet. A folder labeled "Personal." Inside were files that didn't just expose Alex's manipulation, they revealed his hidden life. Bank transfers, secret accounts, even communication with people I can't imagine he'd be involved with. It was worse than anything we thought. And that's when I realized the final phase of this battle had begun. He wasn't just trying to control us. He was preparing to strike in a way that could ruin anyone involved. I looked at Maya. She met my eyes, her face pale but resolute. "We need to move fast," I said. She nodded. We didn't know if we were ready, but there was no turning back now. Every choice from here on would decide whether we survived or whether his darkness consumed everything. And deep down, I knew one thing for certain. Whatever came next, nothing would ever be the same. We uncovered secrets that went far beyond what I ever imagined. Every file, every message, every hidden piece of evidence revealed a side of him I never knew, a side that could destroy everything if we weren't careful. But even with all the proof, the story isn't over. What happens next will test everything: trust, courage, and the very limits of survival. Watch the next video to see how it all escalates. If you're following this story, hit that subscribe button and tap like because the next part changes everything.